So, what do we have here? A camo pouch. It's not obscene, although some people may say or think it is. Got a snap top and protected nicely with some plastic, and voila! A class 3 item, my friends. This is called a Tyrant 45. Tyrant, because it is tyrannical. And a 45 for, guess what? Yes. However, you can use this for 9mm as well if you get the proper piston, which this is not a video about all the rigmarole and all that crap. This is a video on how to protect the baffles and make them easier to clean once they get dirty. Now, with that said, the dirtiest can suppressor slash silencer, they're really not silencers, so if you've never experienced these things, watch some videos. They suppress, they do not silence. In fact, you almost have to wear ear protection with some of these, even when you're using them, because they can be very loud. Now, there's a lot of combinations, the 22 caliber being the quietest. Those cans, you will hear the mechanism of the pistol or the gun really over the breaking of the speed of sound, which the crack of the bullet. So the best thing to do with like 22 is you use subsonic rounds, because they're already subsonic. They will be a lot quieter in a can or a suppressor. For 9mm, you want to use 147 grain, which is the subsonic, or the slower, the heavier ones. In 45 caliber, the standard weight is usually 230 grain, so you're already there with the slower ones. So that will be the ones you want to use. You don't want to use like a lighter grain, like 180 or 165 or something like that with the 45 caliber. It will be noisier. Yes, it will. Now, ironically enough, the suppressors for 5.56, 7.39, 300 blackout, usually those are sealed shut. They cannot be opened to be cleaned. Personally, I don't like that. Nobody's really explained that to me. However, if you get a Liberty Mystic X, it will handle 53 calibers. If I was starting over, I would get that. That's the Swiss Army knife of suppressors. That's the one I would get. It's a great starter because you just get the different adapters and you can use it with anything. Now it may be a little bit louder in some of the calibers, but man, if you got one suppressor, you have to pay one tax stamp, $200, because then you have to pay, if you got a 22, a 9mm 45, a 5.56, you got to pay $200 each time. So 5 different calibers, $200, it's a lot of money in tax stamps, not to mention the time and all that stuff waiting for the thing to come in. So anyways, what I'm going to show you today is really best for 22 caliber suppressors, whether it be monocore or baffle, but especially the baffles. If you don't know what that is, I will have another video explaining the difference and the positives and the negatives of each. But this particular one is called a K-baffle suppressor. But the 22 calibers can get really caked up with soot and gunpowder and crap. The 9 and the 45s, not so much, but they will get dirty. So one of the things that you can do to help prevent that from happening is you do a certain process to put a silicone coating, which actually goes into the pores of the metal, no matter what kind of metal it is, and it will help to keep them clean. And when they do get dirty, the cleaning is a much easier process, much less time involved. So with the Tyrant, of course, you can take the booster and change it, but the end that you open is the opposite end, And there's a tool that you use, and I'll have it in just a second and undo it. But what you want to do when you unscrew this thing is you're going to put this threaded piece aside. You really don't want to do this process to this because it has an O-ring. If you do it, take the O-ring off. Best to do that, take the O-ring off. Although the O-ring should be able to handle the degree that we're going to do this in the oven. Any oven you want, but why waste energy when you can do it in a toaster oven? So here's what we're going to do first. Alright, so we have a tool. This is your tool that basically fits into the end of the suppressor. It only goes one way, it'll fit flat, and you unscrew this thing. Quite a number of threads in here. Once you get it going, this is brand new. Once you get it going, you can do it by hand. This is the end cap. Now what I'm going to recommend, because there are actually different baffles in here that go different way, and yeah, you can look at the instructions or spend your time, you know, trying to figure it out. The instructions are not that good, so what I'd recommend is get you a camera, okay, and then as you take these things out, take a picture. You can refer back to it. I don't have a video, but what we're going to do is we're going to basically put it on the counter. Let's turn this here. Okay? And take them out. And I'll tell you, it's kind of a trick, honestly, to stacking these. This not being as hard as you can see, they're sometimes hard to get out. I think that's all of them. All right, they're not put. They have little. They have little indentions, so they basically fit together like a piece of a puzzle. Now this stack is a little different than the way they do their 22. They have the ports, the holes in the cave baffle, all one way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see they're different color here, different type. Those ports are the other way. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 ports one way, and then 4 ports the other way. When I say ports, I'm talking about the air holes, or the holes with the air. It's very important you get this thing put back the same way. Let's go in here so you can see this. So what I'm talking about are these holes right here. Okay? So you see how these are on the back side, and if I turn that stack around, okay, I turn this stack around, see now you see the holes on the back side, even that one down there. Okay, so again, it's real important, and I'm gonna have to see why that one looks like the same color as that one, but I want to make sure they're all in the right place. So what you're gonna do, doggone it, trying to make this where there's not as many splices, but anyways, it's not that big a deal. Don't worry about this. We were making some boiled peanuts, and they're good. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put these in at 275 for at least 15 minutes in the oven. Upon taking them out, don't touch them. You're going to use it. We'll show you though. We're going to put them in number 5 brake fluid. This is basically pretty close to pure silicone, and you're going to leave them in here till they cool off. Metal inherently has very small micro pores. That silicone is going to fill those up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take them out, dry them off a little bit, put them back, boom, we're done. That's going to make your life a lot easier from here on out as you use your suppressor. Okay, so we are going to cook. You see the top one is a little different too. But anyways, we're going to cook these guys. In fact, I'll just do it like this. Of course, when I put them in there, they're going to be different. These are made out of something. These are made to get really hot. So let's see if there's any difference in this one that was the end one and that one. Does not look like there's any difference, so I'll be okay. They are lightweight. So, breakfast time is coming. You're going to put those babies in. Helps if you plug in the oven. We unplug because it's just not good to leave things plugged in. So, yeah, I got it close to 300. I'll do it for about 20 minutes, and we're gonna cut it here. Be back. Okay, so after the 15 minutes or 20 minutes at least 275 have gone by, your baffles will be hot. So be careful. And what you're going to do is you're going to pick them up, and you're going to very carefully put them into the container of silicone. Now, pure silicone is extremely expensive, so you can get brake fluid DOT 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. DOT 5. You're going to put it in there, and then what I do is to make sure it's got a good coating. Of course, all you got to do is leave it till it gets cool, but I leave it overnight. Let it get in there good and all those pores. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take them out. You're going to dry them off a little bit, you know, just any kind of cloth, an old t-shirt or paper towel. You're going to stack them up and put them back in your suppressor. You will have suppressor baffles that have the micro pores filled with silicone. It will make the cleaning of your suppressor much easier, faster, and keep it nice and clean as a whistle for longer periods of time. So I only showed you one because I already put the other ones in there. They're all in there, and you know, no rush. We'll just leave them in overnight. But if you don't want to do this yourself, we will be happy to do that for you. I have a process with a tumbler and special gentle but effective agents that we can. It takes anywhere from 12 to 24 hours without ruining your baffles. That I will get your baffles as clean as possible. Most of the time they're as clean as new. Sometimes there's a little left because if you've abused it, of course, you know. But for cleaning the baffles or your monocore, we charge $45. If you want us to do this process for you, we charge an extra $15. Okay, so it's only 15 extra bucks, and we'll do this for you, and then we'll ship them back to you. You ship to us, we'll ship back to you, insured. Do not ship the tube. The tube is the serialized part. I'm not going to accept that, but the inside components are not serialized, and they are fine to ship. I would recommend insuring them though, and we will ship them back to you clean. And if you want us to add this process, we will add this process as well. Okay, but I did this video so you could see how to do it yourself if you choose to. But if your wife don't let you in the kitchen with brake fluid, or to use the oven for you know, your gun parts, it may be better just to kind of ship them to us, and we'll do it for you. Okay, all right, check later. 73s.